Now let's look at Vietnam. The Southeast Asian nation is facing a crackdown, an internal crackdown on rampant corruption. And the latest headline from Vietnam is this: another president has been purged. President Vo Van Thuong. He resigned today. Vietnam's ruling Communist Party put out a statement. And this is what they said: Vo Van Thuong's violations and flaws have negatively affected public perception as well as the reputation of the party and the state. They did not specify the violations, but the message was quite clear. The president was linked with corruption, so he had to go. And with this, Thuong has become Vietnam's shortest-serving president. He had taken office only in March last year.
I, President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, swear to be absolutely loyal to the nation, to the people, and the Constitution of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam.
Với hiến pháp nước Cộng hòa xã hội chủ nghĩa Việt Nam.
It seems he wasn't loyal enough, or at least his reputation was not clean enough. He is now Vietnam's second president to resign due to corruption in just 1 year. His predecessor was also forced to resign, again because of corruption allegations, and this was last January. 2 deputy prime ministers were also sacked that month. So it seems no one is above the law in Vietnam. No one is safe from the anti-corruption drive, which, by the way, is called the Blazing Furnace. It's an intimidating name, and it seems quite accurate. Since 2016, the Blazing Furnace has burnt almost 200,000 officials, 2 lakh officials. This is across all levels of government. Thousands of them have been forced to resign. A number of them are in jail, including a former health minister. He's serving an 18-year sentence. He was convicted for taking bribes from a COVID-19 test supplier. Now, all this sounds commendable. It shows that Vietnam has a no-nonsense approach to corruption, and that is inspiring. But the sheer magnitude of this crackdown also raises questions. Like, why is corruption so widespread in the country in the first place? How are people at every level corrupt, including multiple presidents? To understand this, we need to take a closer look at Vietnam's political system. Vietnam is a communist country. They have one political party, and that is the Communist Party of Vietnam. The president is not the most powerful figure in the country, nor is the prime minister. The most powerful person is the Communist Party's general secretary. This man, Vo Van Thuong. He's been general secretary since 2011, and it is under him that Vietnam's anti-corruption drive has taken place. He wanted the war on corruption to be his legacy. This general secretary is 79 years old, which means he may retire soon. This is not the United States after all. Old people retire here. The Vietnamese government's term ends in 2026, and General Secretary Thuong is widely expected to step down. The president usually becomes the next general secretary, and this was supposed to be President Thuong, the one who was sacked today. He was considered the Secretary General's protege and the chosen successor. But then an old corruption case came up, a 12-year-old bribery charge from the president's time as a regional level party worker, which raises more uncomfortable questions. Was the cold case revived for political purposes? Is Vietnam's corruption drive being used to settle political scores? Whatever the case, the Blazing Furnace has set fire to Vietnam's stability. The public is angry at all the corruption they see. Government officials are not letting projects proceed. They're dragging their feet on approvals, afraid of being implicated in possible corruption scandals. And this has also made investors wary about their projects hitting a roadblock. All this has led to a slowdown in growth. And remember, Vietnam has been an Asian success story this century. It has grown by leaps and bounds since the early 2000s, taking full advantage of the world's growing wariness of China. But corruption is the flip side of that coin. Unchecked growth does lead to widespread corruption. Vietnam may need to find a balance now or risk losing out on the next economic boom.